can hear it. Everything's good so far. No leaks. Alright, so these are extra pieces we got. So this is the feed, and this is the return. I'm running 10 feed and 6 return. So we got these extra pieces, which is amazing. I don't really need them, but I'm going to use them as much as I can. So what I have in my car now is just female ends. So I'm going to have to use, I have male parts in, so I'm going to do something kind of like this, you know, that on one end. And this one's already on there. I put it on there before, but I'm gonna do this. This will be going to the pump, and I'll run a male to male here to go into the car itself. But yeah, so you got these. Don't forget about these. These are the screws. Do not use other screws that are longer. The reason being, if you use screws that are too long, you will literally puncture the hole from here into the tank, and you'll have a fuel leak. As you can see, I already took a lot of stuff off. First thing I did was you unplug the battery. I have a switch here, so unplug the battery. When the battery's unplugged, unplug this. So I unplugged this here. I unplugged any relays, depending how much different stuff you have. So I unplugged this completely. Now this is disconnected. Before you take all the bolts out, you want to take these hoses off. And the easiest way is you loosen everything up, you play with them, you know, but obviously they're going to be tight. Mine kind of came off easy because I've been doing this a lot. Like every few months I have to take it out. But what you do is you jam this here, and you kind of use the leverage of the ground, and you push up like that. There we go. And pulls it off. And there, it's out. So now all the bolts are out. This washer is actually, it's on there with RTV, so it won't fall off. When you pull this out, you want to push these out of the way. I push these back because you don't want them getting in the way. Now it's going to be a little easier for me because I don't have the pump in. I already did this. So take this out. As you're pulling, you can see there's that rod. That's your float. So as you're about to pull, you kind of want to twist this down and just kind of fidget with it a little bit, so your pump and everything comes out. Your pump will be right in there, and that's it. See how the float comes out last? And there it is. Everything's out. Then put that on a towel or something. It's going to be soaking in fuel. There's going to be fuel leaking out of here, so mine's already empty, so it's all good. Next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you keep this O-ring nice and safe, especially if you're going to reuse it. I wouldn't reuse it, so I'm going to put this to cover it. I don't want anything falling in that hole. You know, use a piece of cardboard or whatever, something, just so it doesn't fall in the hole. Alright, so I got it on there. I put a clamp on there. What size is it? Doesn't say. But anyway, I got an assortment of clamps from Harbor Freight. It's something like this. And I used the biggest one that was on there. It comes with like 3 of them or 2 of them, something like that. So anyway, so I put that on there. As you can see, there is a mismatch between these two. So you're gonna have to play with it a little bit. If you really want to get technical about it, what you could do is put like what's it called, gas safe spacer between the little bracket and the fuel pump, but I'm not gonna do that. Also, that AN fitting that I'm tapping my finger on right now, that one can be taken off. You could put the hose on first and then put the AN fitting after. If I have this measured, I have it to the bevel, just like they advised. Then I'm going to check the depth, just like this. Very perfect. I'm not bottoming it out, just right. Get this light. That fits just right. So what we could do also is measure it. Actually measure this to this and do a side-by-side comparison. And then you can also check a few other things. You can actually get a measuring tape and measure from the top there to the bottom. So we're now going to take the sender off here. So I already took this one bolt out. I'll just use a screwdriver. Take that thing out. Let's see if it focuses. So I'm going to put that to the side. And now what you have to do is push down on this because there's a nipple where my thumb is. You kind of wiggle it and it pulls out. See how it slides in? It's got that rib on there. So now that's out. Now we have to see, I'm not gonna break it off here. I'm actually gonna cut it. I don't want to redo all these wires. But if you really want to be crazy, you can either break the solder part here. You could either break the solder and resolder a whole new wire, or do what I'm doing, just cut it in half and then splice a new wire in. Just remember where it goes, which is that spot. Put that center to the side. Now we can focus on the actual fuel pump power and ground, and that's right here. So obviously I had to modify this in the past so it to fit, so I'm going to cut right under here. Cool. Now you have your plug, which you're going to need to put the pump on. Now these are disconnected, everything's off now. So the only thing you're going to need now from this is the harness, which we'll get to later. But for now, you can put this to the side. Now, I'm not sure what this is about. I don't know if we have to reuse that, but it doesn't look like we do, so I'm just going to leave it there. I think that might be like a low fuel light level. So, but anyway, this right here, we're just going to not use in the new one. There's no spot for it. So, we're just going to leave that on there. Alright, so I just put this on there. I'm going to show you how I did it. So that's what you want it to look like. See, so as you can see, there's obviously a spot where you want the fuel float to go. So I put the screw in first, the screw that is provided. All right, comes with 2 nuts. I put that through there. It fits. It fits. It's got like more than enough room. I don't know if it was intentionally it's supposed to be like that, but whatever. So I'm gonna put this on there. Put 1 nut. It's very small. Alright, so as for this, one little thing I had to fix, and make sure you get this angle on it right. So let me see if I can get this to the side here. So this has to be tilted. This technically has to be straight, like parallel with these bars. This is as far as I could get it. So unfortunately, I mean, if you really want to, you could either shave this, like the plastic or the metal itself. I'm not going to shave anything because I don't want any metal going anywhere, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Alright, so now I have this pretty much measured, and I know where I want to cut the hose, which is right where my pinky is. I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to put this on, slide this off, slide this on, slide the hose onto the pump, and then secure the pump last. Alright, so I got this going. I took this little piece off the top end here. Just pulls out. You just pull it out. Be easy with it. The power wire is a little thick for me. I actually kind of ripped a little bit. Hopefully it shows. Tiny little rip there, but it still holds. It's going to be tight, even the ground wire. To get it in, I went from the bottom, but I had put a little grease, just on the tip. Once it goes through, then you pull it through. Go nice and easy. Don't rip it. So this is the end product. Like I said, I already showed those, but here's this wire here. It's already soldered in the middle. It's going through. And on this side, I have everything kind of labeled. So the pump is officially, this side is almost done. I just got to tighten this down. But yeah, this is what it's going to look like. So let me pick this up. So before I could even put the thing in, I had to actually drop my tank. I didn't have that much gas in there, but I had to clean all this. Reason being, I had like a layer of rust kind of forming here. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it was able to come off. But when I had the hanger on top of it, it wasn't flush, and it would actually like leak a little bit. We added this 45 on there. That way, we didn't want all the pressure just shooting down onto the sender and maybe messing it up. Honestly, it probably would have been okay, but just to be safe. So if you want, you can do this. Not really necessary, but I did add that on there. My return is 6 AN. I just took the AN fitting off and just sprays it away from the center. The float in. Once the float's in, it pinches on the first bend here. Pull it up a little bit. Yeah, this little bend. What's it like? So you see how it's pinched on that right there, that first bend? That's what we're going to bend on that pinch, and then we're going to put the sock on. Now the sock's through. Now that the sock is through, we kind of just fidget this in. I got this zip tie. Pull all the wires out of the way. Goes in nice and slow. Like I said, the flat end here, match with this flat end. Match the holes up a little bit.
Now would be a good time to light a cigarette.
Boom. So that's how it would go. Obviously, remember to put the O-ring in. So here we go. Now we're going to put 2 of these just to hold it down. Everything's lined up. The O-ring is in. So here's I just put rubber hose, cut in half, use it so this gets through. So I had to do this just because I don't want this to flex too much here, because you don't want this to collapse. So that's why I have it kind of go into an angle. And if you can kind of see, it kind of does stick up kind of high. Everything's pretty much tight. I didn't want to really mess around with the bottom ones, those already came with glue and stuff, so I just kind of left those. And now I'm going to do the wiring mess right now. But I have the 3 wires. One is the positive for the pump, the ground for the pump, and the signal wire for the fuel sender. So I got those hooked up, right? So you can hear it. Everything's good so far. No leaks whatsoever. Alright, so I'm going to try to keep the wiring a little simple. It looks a little complicated, but it's actually not. So I'm going to start off first with this harness. So this harness here is the one that came with the chassis itself. The only cables you're going to use is the yellow one. The yellow, solid yellow for me, was the fuel level sensor. So that's that. That yellow one goes into here. Next one is there's a ground. That ground it's going to get grounded, right? And then the next one is the signal wire, which is this white and brown wire. Now the white and brown wire is actually going to go to my relay, and that's what I'm going to go to next. My relay is going to have 5 cables, but I'm only using 4. The white one here is my signal wire, so as you can see, it goes to that. My yellow is the power to the pump, which is this yellow one here. The next one is this black one. That is the ground. That is this big chunk of wires here, because it's all going into one ground. It's going to be chassis ground. And then I have this blue wire, which is actually my power wire. And that's this right here. And that's going to go to a power shut-off switch, safety switch on the side here. Just want to say on this harness here, you're not going to be using these 2 cables. One is the yellow with blue, and then the primary blue with red or pink. You're not going to really be using those because one was a ground, and then the other was, I think, a low fuel level sensor. So I might be wrong, but I just know those 2 aren't used. And then I just made it nice. I still kept this on here because I am going to make a plate. So I kept that on there. I bought all this stuff, all this plastic tube, and got on eBay. Like I said, the relay I got on eBay, came with the relay and the harness here. And that's it. And then product, got it grounded. Go in here to the switch. I already have the key on, so I can actually just turn this thing on. And there we go. Great. Once I get a cover for this, it'll look way better, but this is just temporary. No leaks. Keep putting your hand on everything. Make sure you don't have any leaks. We're gonna go check the fuel pressure in a second. I actually don't have that much fuel in the tank. I'm gonna just put like 2 gallons in there just for now. But yeah, this is a good way to do it. The relay's right here. If something happens, I could always pull it. So. You can hear it kind of doing its thing. So, if I really wanted to, I could pull this relay and it would kill the pump and everything. So and still have the car going.